If you look at the raw data behind our favorite platforms, a staggering volume of text, video, and audio is uploaded every single second. We are plugged into a continuous stream of information that never stops updating. Over time, checking a phone transitioned from a casual way to pass the time into a compulsion. We began swiping through negative or highly stimulating content for hours, a behavior now known as doomscrolling. Biologically, our brains are struggling to keep up. We are asking our neural pathways to parse distinct narratives, rapid-fire images, and competing emotional cues faster than human cognition can process. This creates a permanent state of input. We continuously trade away our baseline attention span just to maintain pace with an infinite feed. To understand why we stay glued to the screen, we have to look at the biological engine running the show, the dopamine loop. Our neurological reward system craves novelty. Encountering new stimuli releases a visual burst of dopamine. Algorithms endlessly provide this novelty. Eventually, the system hits diminishing returns. The physical swipe becomes the trigger, making the mechanical act of scrolling more rewarding than the actual content. By 2 a.m., the scroll is no longer a matter of willpower. The brain is chemically locked into a consumption cycle that our basic biology lacks the tools to interrupt. This endless digital loop eventually hits a hard boundary in the physical world, the people sitting right next to us. It usually happens on the couch or across the dinner table. A friend or a partner realizes you've been staring blankly at a glowing rectangle for 2 hours and tells you to put the phone down. A direct, real-world intervention should snap you out of the trance. Instead, the digital loop adapts to the friction so it can keep running. Rather than retreating when confronted by physical reality, our screen habits absorb the interruption and use it as fuel for the next scroll. In early 2026, this absorption took the form of a viral trend. The internet responded to real-world interventions with a fill-in-the-blank meme format. When my blank accuses me of doomscrolling, but I'm actually blank. Millions of users began filling in these blanks, turning the moment a partner expresses concern into a punchline. They justify the hours spent staring at their phones as deep research or essential hobbyist tracking. Psychologically, this acts as an effective coping mechanism. We use self-deprecating humor to mask the uncomfortable reality of a genuine compulsion. By turning the intervention into a joke, you can acknowledge the screen obsession publicly without actually taking any steps to change the behavior. The dopamine loop successfully neutralizes the threat by processing a real-world attempt to stop the scrolling into yet another piece of viral content. Once the brain adapts to that level of constant high-speed stimulation, offline life begins to feel agonizingly slow. This initiates the final phase of the loop, output. We begin attempting to speed up our physical lives so they match the erratic pacing of our feeds. You can see this shift in the editing like a reality show trend. Creators are taking mundane, boring chores, like shoveling a driveway or a weekly grocery run, and artificially inflating them. They use rapid cuts and dramatic tension music to make a trip to the store look like a high-stakes survival thriller. Documenting a normal day isn't enough anymore. The events of our lives are being artificially escalated to satisfy our own fractured attention spans. This diagram tracked the merging of these two distinct spaces. The boundary separating your offline reality from your digital performance dissolves until the two become indistinguishable. We have transitioned from passive consumers to active directors, producing our daily routines exclusively so they can be fed back into the machine. This forces us to ask, are we still living our physical lives, or are we just producing them to satisfy an algorithm? Navigating this requires becoming an informed observer. Recognize the chemical systems keeping you hooked, identify the loops, and break the cycle. Surviving this modern digital environment requires conscious awareness. Otherwise, your own physical life becomes a perfectly edited reality show playing out indefinitely inside the infinite feed.